What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to How Do I Want to Do This? This is our series where we take a look at all playable options available to players in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and we rank them on a scale of 1 to 10, and either build them or fix them depending on how they rank. Now today we begin our talks on the Pact of the Fiend Warlock. This is an exciting one where you just want to blow stuff up all the time. And that is exactly what this allows you to do. But does it make it better than some of the other options presented? We are going to find that out today. But before we do that, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Also make sure to share the video with your friends, and of course click the bell so you're notified when new videos are uploaded. Before we jump too deeply into this, I do want to raise a question, and let me know down in the comments section below what you think. Obviously, the new version of all things D&D is coming very, very soon, here in just a few weeks. Obviously, I've still been covering 5e up till this point, and there's still a lot to cover, right? I could still go to the end of the year covering 5e, but obviously new stuff is coming very soon. So, would you want to see a pivot to the new stuff and a pivot away from what I'm doing and leaving the series incomplete? I guess I'm trying to figure out whether or not to finish this series and finish out the year, or whether to pivot and go to 1D&D and go from there. I'd love to know down in the comments below what you would like to see for future content. I don't know if I could juggle both, but I definitely see that there would be a lot of want for the new stuff, so let me know down below what you think. With that out of the way though, what is a Fiend Warlock? The Fiend Warlock is the one that wants to watch the world burn and really to be the cause of it. You have made a deal with some kind of devil or demon or something that just gives you power to light everything on fire. This is one that focuses pretty much solely on combat, and it kind of shows, right? But does it have the chops to beat the other options we have talked about and the ones that we will talk about? We're gonna find that out right now. Starting off, as always, we have our expanded spell list, and my goodness, this is a pretty dang good list. Burning Hands and Command starting us off very strong. That's really reliable damage in a cone, and Command, of course, is incredible on a charisma-based caster, of course. We've got Blindness and Deafness, Scorching Ray, Fireball for, the classic huge amount of damage there, Stinking Cloud, Fire Shield, Wall of Fire, Flame Strike, and Hallow. The worst spell on this entire list is Hallow, and honestly, Hallow can have a place. It's not the most useless spell out there. It's a little niche. It's at least more niche than the rest of these spells, but it is certainly far from useless. It's not that bad. So, I mean, looking at this list, I would pick pretty much all of them except for Hallow, depending on the campaign. Sometimes I might, sometimes I won't. For that reason, I gotta give this a 9 out of 10. All of these are solid for damage dealing, for battlefield control in the form of Wall of Fire. You've got Fireball for huge amounts of AoE damage. There's just a lot of really, really good stuff going on. And like I said, I would take 9 of these pretty much every single time I played this, and Hallow sometimes depending on the campaign. As far as features, this one's very simple. We only get one feature per level that we actually get features. So this is going to be one of the shorter ones that we go through actually. We start off with Dark One's Blessing, and this one's very simple too. Not only do we want to catch things on fire, but we want to kill, and this rewards us for doing so. So whenever you do snag yourself a kill, you gain temporary HP equal to your charisma modifier plus your warlock level. This is great, right? This is a amazing amount of temporary HP that gets added onto every time that you do get a KO. This is great. Right now, remember, they do not stack. So, if you're getting, say, 10 temporary HP back and then you get another KO, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have 20. You're going to still be back at 10. But if you took 5 damage in the interim, you're back up to 10, right? You can just replace those that you lost if you get another kill. That to me is totally worth it. The scaling here is great. So eventually you're going to get up to 25, assuming you don't have higher than a +5 modifier on charisma. That's great. That's great, especially because there's no limit to how many times you can use this. Get a kill, get all of that back, even if it's a minion, it doesn't matter. That's amazing. That is going to be a 10 out of 10 every single time. There's nothing bad about this feature. It's super simple, but it's incredibly effective at what it does, and I gotta rate it accordingly. At level 6, we get Dark One's Own Luck, and this actually helps us with things that maybe are not attacking, but it'll definitely keep you alive. So whenever we are making a saving throw or an ability check, we can actually roll a d10 and add it to that roll. Now we have to do this before we know what the effect of the roll is, but it is after we roll the d20. And of course we can only do this once per rest. This again is incredible. This absolutely is a hit. Being able to go back and fix that, I don't know, maybe we were gonna be mind controlled or charmed or something like that, and you're like, nope, I'm not doing that, I'm rolling a d10, and you turn that failure to a success. That's huge, right? Maybe you're in a dungeon with a lot of really dangerous traps and you fail a dexterity saving throw. You pop this and now you're good, right? There are a lot of uses that this will come up in, which is absolutely amazing. And being able to use it once per rest is honestly fine. Getting it on a short rest is totally fine with me. I gotta give this another 10 out of 10. This is absolutely fantastic. Do I wish we could use it more? Sure, but I really can't complain too much. At level 10, we get Fiendish Resilience, and this is another defensive feature, but works very differently than what we did before. But again, it's very simple. With this, whenever we finish a rest, we can choose one damage type. This can include bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, or any elemental types or whatever it is that you want to choose. We gain resistance to that damage type until we choose a different one. The only drawback here is that damage from magical weapons or silver weapons will ignore this resistance. This is again an amazing feature. If we are going into a place that is filled with monsters that deal acid damage, you take a quick nap and you get resistance to the acid damage. If you know that you're getting ready to get pelted with bows and arrows, you can take a quick nap and now you resist all of the piercing damage, as long as it's not magical. There are so many applications that if you have just a little bit of foresight into what is about to happen, you can really make a really great use of this feature and keep yourself alive a lot longer than if you didn't have this. This is, again, absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna go with a 9 out of 10 on this. I really don't think that I can go any less on this. The only drawback, of course, is the magical weapons that I'm really looking at, because maybe I take slashing damage, but it's a Holy Avenger, right? And then it doesn't matter, right? You're gonna take the slashing damage. It doesn't matter. You take some kind of crazy cursed sword, as long as it's magical, you're gonna take the full damage on that. So that's really the only thing that's holding it back. Besides that, this is fantastic. Finally, level 14, we get Hurl Through Hell, and this does exactly what it sounds like. Whenever we hit a creature with an attack, we can use this feature to teleport that target to the lower planes, and it disappears and takes 10d10 psychic damage and shows back up at the end of our next turn. We can only do this once per long rest. Did you miss the part where there's a saving throw on this feature? No, because there isn't one. There's no saving throw. You hit the creature and this happens. The only drawback on this is if the creature is a fiend, then this doesn't work out. Otherwise, it's happening, and they take 10d10 psychic damage. It just happens, right? And there's not a lot out there that resist psychic damage. That's pretty uncommon outside of mind flayers. There's really not a ton that are going to resist that damage type. So that makes a big difference here. And honestly, I think that's pretty great. Obviously, there is the issue of only being once per long rest, but the fact that there is no save, absolutely fantastic. I'm going to give this another 9 out of 10. I think this is an amazing way to just get off a big hit and soften up an enemy. And this even helps with positioning too, right? Because you can make that enemy disappear for a round, get everybody in position, ready for it to reappear, ready an attack, and then bop it as it shows back up. Yeah, there's a lot of really, really nasty implications here that I think are great. So what do you think of the Fiend Warlock? This one's super simple, right? This is a PHB subclass, and honestly, I think that they just kind of got it right here at the beginning, right? Now, I do think that this has gotten better as new invocations and spells and things have been added over time. I definitely don't think that this would have ranked as highly at drop. But nowadays, after Tasha's and Xanathars and all of that has brought so much more to the class, I really can't deny that this is absolutely fantastic. The really the only drawback to this is the fact that fire is somewhat commonly resisted. It's one of the most commonly resisted types of damage that's out there. Besides that, there's really not a whole lot. But the thing is, even if they have resistance, right, you're gonna have Eldritch Blast still in the back, right? So ultimately, you're still able to deal damage. You're still getting a bunch of temp HP. You're able to resist damage. You're able to help yourself with saving throws and with ability checks. Notice that there are no features here that specifically are there to say you have to deal fire damage every single turn. There is nothing there that says that. There's nothing there that says we're gonna buff all your fire spells to do blah, blah, blah. It's not there, right? It's not pigeonholing you into this one thing, although it gives you those spells. You can do whatever you want with this. You don't have to take a single fire spell if you don't want to. I'd recommend it, but you don't have to. And you can still be incredibly effective. And with all of that in mind, I've got to award this a 10 out of 10. I think the Fiend Warlock is incredible here. And like I said, it's been improved over time. I think that this is only after the addition of Xanathars and the addition of Tasha's and all of the bonuses and goodies that they got out of that. But still, this is an incredible option and definitely worth playing. So that's our video for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Later this week, of course, we're going to be building one of these together, and I hope you all are looking forward to that. So until next time, stay safe out there. Stay healthy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.